Now, this is not a Bill Monroe story. This is a Lester Platt story. I was out with Lester one time. We were going to play in the States, and when they had bales of hay, you know, and he says, Roland, you go tell someone to get those bales of hay off of here. We don't need those.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Anyway, so they did. They moved it.
Good.
Well, that's important in shaping the image of the music and how it should be appreciated and such. I would like to mention to all of you on Thursday at the awards luncheon, Roland will be receiving the Distinguished Achievement Award for his lifetime of music and his service to the bluegrass community. So I hope you will all be out there.
My word.
And it's well deserved, Roland. We're very proud of you. Any other questions? Yes, Pete.
This is an aside relative to the crosscut saw. That is on display down at the museum in Owensboro.
Probably still got my handprints.
How he does.
Pete says the cross-cut saw that they've been talking about is on display at the museum in Owensboro.
He never asked me to get on the other end of that thing.
Well, that's the last time I volunteered.
Anyone? Yes, at the bar?
How many years did you each play with Bill?
How many years did you each play with Bill?
From May 1967 to February of '69.
I was with him for about, I guess about 20 months, about a year and a half. So.
I was with him about 6.5 years, somewhere in that area.
More like your whole life, huh?
Yeah.
Did you travel with him as a kid? We see a lot of
Yeah, we
musicians
did.
now.
Well, my sister and I, he would take us on the road with him some when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And when my father had those two baseball teams, I was like a bat boy with one of them. So they let me, he had me a little suit and all that stuff. And I love baseball, so we had a good time with that. And he had those other two buses that he'd carry the ball team in, and I'd take my turn riding with different teams, you know. But that was fun back in those days. And when my sister was a little girl, they used to put her on the box and she would sing now. And Clyde Moody would back her up with just a guitar.
Mhm.
She was part of his tent show. But that was back in the 40s.
Yes, Bob?
James will know this. Wasn't there a guitar that your dad owned for many years that you played and it disappeared and then came back?
Yeah, Pete Roland is the last one to play that guitar, and it got stolen out of my car. Pete and I had been to a club here in Nashville one night called King Henry's Lodge. It was a bluegrass place, and we left there and we came down to Printer's Alley to see the Stoneman family, and we parked in the parking lot, and my bass was in the car, and they left my bass, but they took that guitar, and I don't know how they ever. It was in between the back and the front seat. It was an old D28 Martin herringbone. I'm not sure the year, how old it was. It could have been a 36 or 9 or something, or even 40. But it was.
It was not the guitar that we all seen in the picture when he was doing the first version of
Well,
Pure Blues.
they stole that guitar off the top of his old Buzz.
There's two of them were stolen.
Yeah, there's two of them stolen, and one was back when Lester and Earl worked for him, and I don't know what year that was. It had to be back in the 30s, 40s, I guess, early 40s. But there was great guitars now.
Yes, sir.
Roy Moore with WQFS in Greensboro. James, as time went on, your father became more and more of a celebrity. Being a child of a celebrity, not always the easiest thing. Some stories, people coming to the farm to seek your father out, just fans and so forth. Any of those stories you can share with us?
Well, they came, when I was a boy, they came all the time. I mean, we lived on Dickerson Road, and that was like the main road, 31W. So they would find out where he lived at, and there was always cars out in front of our home. But he, a lot of them would see him on the shows, and he would invite them to the opera sometimes, so they would come there for that too, But just wonderful memories, and not just fans would come, musicians would come and visit all the time, I remember Uncle Dave Macon would spend the night with us Saturday after the opera, and my sister and I used to laugh at him somewhat. He used to wear this like a sleeping bunny. Dave Macon would. But he always gave me and my sister silver dollars, so we thought he was wonderful too. But people like that would come out, and a lot of the old entertainers would come out and see my father.
You mentioned the silver dollars. That's really associated with your dad. How did that get started?
Well, no, my dad gave quarters to kids.
Quarters, yeah.
And wherever he would go, he would just always do that. He said when he was a little boy, he said that nobody had any money much at all. And his father would give him a nickel. You could buy a lot of candy in those days with a nickel, I guess. And he said it was always good to get somebody to give you money. And he just felt that way about kids, even though when he was old, he did that. Yeah.
A few years ago, Pete Kuykendall took me on a road trip to Rosine, and it really was a changing experience for me to see where your dad's family, even by today's standards, that's pretty far back in the woods.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine the drive, the personal drive, the burning desire to get out and spread his music and stuff. I don't know many people who would have had that drive to have a worldwide music established. I know that may not have been in his head, but
Well, he said that when he started playing music, he was just going to play for the farmers. His mind was never to be a great professional. He never dreamed that. He said he was happy just to go play for the neighbors, and that's how he started out. And his mother played, fiddle, and his uncle Penn did. But for all this stuff to come up on him through the years of his music, I think was a shock to him too, in a way. He never acted about it that way, but I mean, he just, I think it was just meant to be for my father.
I think he had a lot to do with making it happen.
Oh, I do too.
For one, sure appreciate that he kept with it and he wanted everyone to keep their mind on
I
his
agree on
music.
that, yeah. But I'm saying I think it was fate for him to be the great musician he became.
Right. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to ask that somebody take a nice formal picture of these three men and remind you that Bill Monroe for Breakfast takes place right here tomorrow morning at 8. But this afternoon at noon, Del McCurry doing a free concert over at the Ryman. Hope you'll join him for that and enjoy the rest of your week here at IBMA. And on behalf of IBMA as a member, thank you all for coming out and being a part of World of Bluegrass this week. Thank you so much. And thanks to you, gentlemen.
I've got one to Del McCurry.
Oh, a Del McCurry story.
I was talking to Del backstage somewhere one time, and you know how he does his eyes when he talks. I said, Del, you did Roll On, Buddy, Roll On with Bill, right? He said, yes, sir. Yeah, I did that. And I said, well, were there any other things other than, he was in the band same time Bill Keith was in the band. I said, did you do anything? I know there were some instrumentals, but did you do any other songs? And he said, Vic, he said, that was the only one. He said, but it's a good one, wasn't it?
And yes, it was. Thank you very much. Will someone get a formal picture of the three?